Foster, and thank you so much for joining us here on Independent Chick. Today we have a very special guest, Brian James, the leadership guy, because I wanted to go into a new level of finding independence. It's great that we have the experts coming on our show to give us advice and to really launch us into that independent zone that we talk about. But today we've got some more information. We're going to take 3 topics and we're going to talk about it, which is, I guess we should introduce Brian. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on our show, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having me on the show and letting the people know that it is me on the show.
So we're going to talk about 3 topics today. First, we're going to tackle self-image. What you think you become.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Now, it's a very big thing because you only ever export into your life that which you believe.
Okay, explain.
Explaining. So, for example, if I were to believe that I was an extremely successful person, I'm going to live like that. I'm going to talk like that. I'm going to hang out with the people who are in that vicinity or in that context, and I'm going to live that out. However, if I'm kind of an insecure person, I'll never make it in life or whatever, I'm going to live that out too. So having a healthy belief system about yourself and about the world, extremely important. We're going to go over that today.
Well, we talked about earlier, just off camera, about if a woman thinks that she's ugly, do you think that makes her ugly? I know a lot of beautiful women and men that would disagree with that.
The significance in that comment is that, you're not going to, if I think I'm a pumpkin, I'm not going to physically become a pumpkin, right? So if I think I'm ugly, I'm not going to physically become ugly, like my face is going to change. That'd be horribly terrifying.
Okay.
What are you thinking? No, what happens is whatever you think is going to be expressed through your actions. So if I'm going to go around, like say for example, if a woman's going to think that she's ugly, she's not going to become physically ugly. She's going to live like she's physically ugly, which can actually then take down her appeal, both for herself and then also in the public, because what are we most attracted to? Confidence, right? Charisma. These are things that people are drawn to. So if you're walking around with that kind of belief, where you're just low and poor me and I'm just, somebody sweep me under the rug, that's how you're going to come across in the general public, and it's really just going to impinge your social capacities.
I believe you. Self-image, let's talk about that for a second. Describe it.
Self-image would really be, it's kind of like your worldview for yourself. Now think of it as like the binoculars that you're looking through.
Right.
Now I have a diagram. Is this a good time to pull it out?
Let's do it.
The diagram
Let's see this, what Brian
is
is talking about.
extremely practical. Have you ever seen this before? Have you?
Well, I mean, I have.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
You have seen this before, yeah, because we're
Right,
friends.
Yes. But people
To
that
those
are
who
watching
haven't, this is you. Pretty good looking, right? This diagram was actually formulated by a guy named Dr. Thurman Fleet in the 1930s, who wanted to come up with a representation of the mind. Because we all think in pictures, it's a great way to teach. So if I were to say a pink elephant in a top hat, what picture do you see in your mind?
A pink elephant
Yeah,
with a top
hopefully
hat.
not a relative, right?
No.
So when I say the mind, what picture do you see?
A brain.
A brain. Most people do. That's kind of the normal response. Well, the brain is not the mind. The brain is the meatloaf that houses the mind. It's like the shoe that the foot fits in. This is a representation of your mind. And what Thurman Fleet kind of describes in this picture is we have 2 compartments. We have our conscious and our subconscious, and we have our 5 senses that act as little radio antennae that pick up information from the outside world. So sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, these are all radio antennae picking up information.
Right.
When these pick up the information, it's then filtered into your first quadrant, which is your conscious mind, and it's in this portion of your mind that's the hands-on portion. It's where you can approve of or disapprove of the information that's coming at you. This is your tinker. Now, if this was a factory, right, a place where you can go to work, this would be your scientist. This is where he's going to approve of or disapprove of, agree or disagree, accept or reject the information that's coming at you. Now, significantly to that, what happens is the longer that you focus on whatever information is in here, whether positive or negative, it's going to get submitted into your subconscious. Now, if this is a factory and this is your scientist, this would be your computer.
Okay.
This would be the machine, right? Gets plugged down right into there. Do you have any questions so far?
I'm just trying to follow along.
Just trying to follow? Are we
Yeah.
going too fast?
Oop, keep going.
Going pretty good. Now, what happens in this realm is that we have, and this is where it kind of gets philosophical a little bit. You've heard of the laws of physics?
Yeah.
Yeah, math?
Something about
Right?
that. Yeah.
The universe kind of runs on these things. Well, there's another set of laws
Okay.
in metaphysics.
All right.
It's kind of like math on steroids. Crazy. One of them is the law of vibration,
Right.
which states that everything is at a constant state of vibration. Nothing is at rest. This is taking you back to grade 8 science class, right? What's everything made out of at the subatomic level?
Matter.
Yeah, matter, right?
Right.
Electrons, protons, neutrons. Energy. What does energy do? It vibrates, right? So
Right.
solid, liquid, gas, different
Makes you
vibration
excited.
rates. Exactly.
Okay.
This is your energy frequency determination center. Let me paint another picture for you. You know how radio waves are constantly floating around you at any given minute? And it's not until you tune in your dial into the specific frequency and the music manifests. Same thing with energy. This is energy at this frequency.
Okay.
Your energy at that frequency. I'm energy. The whole world is the universe. Energy at specific frequencies. Well, this is your energy frequency determination center. Whatever's in here is going to cause your body to vibrate at that rate of frequency, which is then going to be expressed through you as behaviors and actions, which brings about the results in your life. So you can see that a self-image, this is where your ideas and your beliefs and your self-image lives. You can see that if this is as accurate as the picture depicts, then it can be some pretty healthy or some pretty scary stuff.
All right. See it, believe it,
See it,
achieve it.
believe it, achieve it.
How were you changed when you changed your negative beliefs of yourself?
Well, this goes back to kind of some personal history. I grew up as the fat kid, and yeah, I mean, if you've ever gone through that, you know what it's like, you know, kids poking at people. And so I developed a self-image that wasn't very high, and I lived that out. And there was actually a statement that I tried to run from my whole life was, you're not good enough. I developed the belief that being weak is not okay, and so I did everything to rebel against that, and I dove into studies, and I became a personal trainer, and I became an award-winning bodybuilder, and I've written a book, and I've gotten into businesses, I've traveled the world speaking, and yet I still had that program. Still extremely insecure, especially when it came to relationships. And I remember I was dating my best friend at the time, and it was brutal for everybody, and not because of her. She was fantastic. That kind of made it a little worse for me, right? It's like, why are you wrecking such a good thing, right?
Yeah.
What I had was some programs. My branding is for heart programs. Some self-image beliefs that I just wasn't good enough.
Okay.
And I acted that out, and I
Alright.
just wrecked it.
And it changed you.
And it
To
changed
start
me.
Thinking negatively, and now your positive is really improving your life.
The positive is a big aspect of that as well, but I also have a little trick to that I call the heart chart, which
All right.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that just after this break. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to get into that a little bit more, and we're going to talk about the heart chart. So stay tuned. Hey, we're back here on Independent Chick, and we are tackling some pretty amazing subjects right now. We've got Brian James, the leadership guy. He's here to help us. What are you here for? What are you going to help us with?
Change your life.
Awesome. We are going to talk about the heart chart. We've been talking about relationships. You shared a little bit last break how you would sabotage these amazing relationships. And tell us more about that.
So the significance of this, I mean, I'm a leadership guy, right? So this is not just suitable for relationships. This is going to be for anything. Maybe you're sabotaging relationships. Maybe you're sabotaging your health I used to be a personal trainer. How many times have you lost the same 5 pounds? 30 times, right? Or how about trying to get to the next level at work? So sabotage can be anywhere. During my season, what I found was really dramatic because I always tried to find different avenues of finding peace. The way I sabotaged mine is that I would have a certain script that I had that was kind of inside of me that would come out during specific scenarios, like you're not good enough, or you're going to marry the wrong person, or maybe when you're better looking, or whatever it was that would get in the way of my relationships. And I've been doing that since I was 16. And the only reason that I was able to find this out is because one of my ways of trying to find inner peace was breaking up with this girl and then dating a new girl. Like, let's just get a new one.
You're coping.
Yeah, it was coping, so that would be the rebound, right? And what happened is that, I mean, my script was every 30 days, I would have this kind of anxiety right? So the first 30 days would be fine, and then the 31st day, this would happen, I'd freak out, break up with her. A couple days later, I would regret it, I would repent, I would come back, and if she took me back, cycle repeat, right? And so when I had this new girl, which was in like a month or maybe 2 months of my last relationship, I started dating her, and it was great. First 30 days were fantastic, and then the 31st day hit, and then boom.
What was going on?
Anxiety, stress. The programs came out. Same script, same everything. And so when I broke up with her, she wouldn't take me back, and I had to sit down and ask myself, why am I sabotaging relationships? And that's when I found the heart chart. Now, that's just my branding for it. The technical name.
The heart chart.
The heart chart, yeah. The technical name is cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, I didn't get into anything in depth, just a simple chart, but this chart changed my life. And here's how it works. The first column is for feeling. So in that situation, what are you feeling?
Okay, I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to do the heart chart on something that I want to work on.
That's exciting.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay. All right. So in the first chart, at any given moment, what are you feeling? Or what would be an average feeling that you have? Stressed out, worry, fear, any of those?
Not good enough.
Not good enough. Well, that would be a negative thought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what are you feeling? Yeah, what's the energy you're feeling?
I'm usually joyful and happy, but I think when I get into that negative thought, then it's like, it's depressing.
So depressed?
Yeah.
Okay. Depressed or stressed?
Weak?
Weak? That'd be more of a negative thought.
Oh, okay.
Give me a feeling. Like, what do you struggle with?
Sad.
Sad. Sadness is a good one. That's a big one.
It is. I have depression.
Sad.
I get depressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is pretty common.
Okay.
So now in the next column it says automatic negative thought. What is the automatic negative thought attached to this feeling?
I'm not good enough.
That's it. That's it right there. I'm not good.
Am I going to start crying?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. It's okay, I got tissues. So, I mean, that sucks. That's I struggled with the same as well. So let's go to the next column, which is supporting evidence. What is the supporting evidence of this thought being true?
That I'm not good enough?
Yeah.
I'm not where I want to be in my career?
Okay, well, that's actually more of a negative thought.
Oh, okay.
No, this is perfect, because we want to make sure that our thoughts are specific and our feelings are specific. We want to make sure that we're looking for the testable, the demonstrable,
what would
observable.
like
So I'm not good enough as I just can't get the job.
What's the supporting evidence? I don't know. I can't think of one.
That's totally fine. Because
I know there is.
Well, no, the thing is that with this column, there's usually little to nothing.
There is.
In this column.
I don't know. So I'm late for meetings.
I'm late for meetings. Okay.
Yes. Oh wait, I don't think I want that, right? Okay. I'm late for meetings.
What else?
And then I feel bad. I don't know. I think that's. I feel like I should have more in that column, but.
That's probably about it, right?
Right.
Out of the multiple times that I've done this and taken people through this, there's usually about 1 or 2.
Okay.
It's very limited.
Really hard.
Totally.
But I always have that, like, I'm not good enough. A lot.
Now, let's go into the next column, opposing evidence. What is the opposing evidence to this thought being true?
I have accomplished a lot in my career.
Let's get specific.
Like actual things that I'm proud of?
Yeah.
I have an award-winning volunteer program.
I have
Now I just feel like
awards.
I'm bragging.
No, this is the column to do that.
Okay.
And again, this is all personal, so go ahead and brag on yourself. It's important that you do so.
I've started a radio station.
Wow, what else?
I've been a TV anchor for a national network, coming out of radio straight into TV with no TV experience.
That's pretty big.
I have a TV show.
TV show?
I get to travel around Canada teaching this program that I'm so passionate about to women that are like me.
So independent chick,
Yeah.
right? Travel the country.
I get to meet great people. Like Brian James.
Oh, thanks. Now, you could spend a decent amount of time, and you could probably get pages. Look at this. We've only spent like 10 seconds. Really? Look at the difference in the
I
evidence
feel
columns.
great.
Yeah. Is this thought true?
No,
According to the evidence, it's not.
it's not.
So let's be rational human beings. So we're going to live a lie, knowing it's a lie, because that's obviously a lie. Look at the audience, or the evidence. So let's use the evidence to come up with a new thought. What's a new thought?
I am good enough.
Sounds good to me. What else?
I have accomplished things.
I just put worth there. And again, this is the same idea. You could spend a long time just coming up with positive new thoughts. And you're like, wow, so according to the evidence in the new thought, the true thought, how does it make you feel?
I feel great.
You feel great, right?
I feel ready to take on the world.
How else do you feel?
I feel happy. And
Happy.
joyful.
Happy, joy. Now, if this was an in-the-moment practice, you just went from sadness to feeling great,
I felt that.
happy, joy, in a matter of minutes.
I felt it when I said the sad, and I feel the joy right now.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
The problem with most people is that we're often aware that something is wrong, but we're not often aware that something can be done. This is the done. This is showing you that something can change.
So it's really all about peeling back the layers of that ugly that we sometimes struggle with, and to get to the really nitty-gritty of things for the good stuff.
Absolutely.
All right? It's like bananas.
It's like bananas.
The brown bananas are actually better for you, which is a really, I think, a great analogy. Is brown banana, what was I trying to say? TNF. Apparently, they have qualities that help your immune system that actually make you better, but they kind of look gross and ugly and you don't want to eat them. But once you peel it back, you actually get the good stuff.
Absolutely. So applying this could be the brown
There you go.
spots on your banana.
That's just bananas. All right, we're gonna be right back right after this. Thank you. I feel great. We're gonna talk about dreaming big. We are going to dream big. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to Independent Chick. So happy that you are joining us today. We are talking with Brian James. We're chatting about dreaming big. Is dreaming big selfish?
Was Martin Luther King Jr. selfish when he said, "I have a dream"?
No.
Of course not. Dreams change the world.
All right.
I would encourage you to dream big.
Why?
Because it is through dreaming big that we're actually able to express ourselves as significantly as we've been intended to be.
Okay.
I don't think humans are supposed to be oppressed. I think humans are supposed to be expressed in the highest fulfillment ever. That's why we have places like Disneyland, right? We have that kind of creativity in places like NASA. It's fantastic. These all started as dreams.
Right.
And so without dreaming big, the world essentially can't move on.
I completely 100% believe in dreaming big. Of course, you know that's part of my seminar as well, dreaming big. But I want to hear what you have to share with people today who are thinking maybe a little bit too small, a little bit too, you think, well, this is a big dream, but we're going to challenge you to dream even bigger than that today. So why don't you tell us what this chart is all about?
Okay, this is your standard wheel of life.
All right.
Now you've got your life cut up into 8 different pie pieces, and they all represent something different. You got your career, you got your money and finances, you got your love and relationships.
Okay.
Woo! You've got your friends and entertainment. You've got your health and fitness, that's a dumbbell. You've got your friends and family, those who are closest to you. Personal growth, how are you developing as a person? And then environment, this is kind of like my crazy eights pie. This can either be for environment, you know, your surroundings, where do you live, how are the conditions, or if you're a spiritual person, you can put in spirituality. Do you go to church, or do you do a mosque, or do you pray, or anything like that?
Oh, right.
And so the way that this works, before we can achieve a massive dream, we have to start at the basic levels first. Before you can graduate college, we have to get you into preschool.
All right. I'm ready to graduate, so we'll graduate.
You're ready to graduate? Well, let's start, okay? So if you got a pen and paper, I want to follow along with us. In the middle of the circle, this is going to act as a 0, and then on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the outside, I want you to draw a line of contentment. Where are you content in this area of your life?
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10. No, we can do this right now.
For career?
Yeah.
Like, number-wise?
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay. 6. 7. 6. 7.
7. So we're probably around here, right?
Okay.
And then we're just going to shade that in.
I just think you can always do better, but okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay. How about money?
4.
4. Yeah, I think everybody's around there, right? Especially around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So now when it comes to love and relationships, what's your contentment level?
Well, I'm content being single, so I'd say high.
Okay.
But I'm not looking, and I'm not dating, so I'm really content.
That's fine. So
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm content.
Okay. So what's that number?
Oh, so 9
9 out of 10?
or 8, 8 and a half, 9.
Okay. We'll go around here. Now, when doing this,
Eventually I do,
it's also again
but-
this is a
all right.
it's a private thing, right? So thank you for sharing with the world.
Yeah.
Here's my life on paper. But when
Here you go.
when you do this, you really want to be
Okay.
honest with yourself,
All right.
because the more brutally honest you can be, then the more you can actually make a difference.
Okay.
When it comes to fun and entertainment, how often do you go out and have a good time?
I love life, but yeah, I'm pretty busy. I mean, you know, the show and 8.
8?
Yeah.
Okay. So around the same.
People are just gonna think, oh, you just think your life is just so perfect.
Now, when we get into health and fitness, how's your health? What's your contentment level
I
for
would
your
be
health?
3.
You're a 3?
I'm not feeling well.
Right around here. Okay. Friends and family.
I love my friends and family. I would say 9.
You have some deep relationships with both of them?
Totally.
Perfect. Okay. So that's pretty close to the top there. All right. Now, how about for personal growth? Do you invest into yourself a lot with reading or seminars or school or?
I read, I do seminars. I've been thinking about school to do more like leadership programs and stuff like that. So I would say I'm halfway there. So I'd say 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally, do you want to do environment or do you want to do spirituality?
Well, we'll go with spirituality.
Okay, so in terms of your spirituality, whatever that is, how content are with you in that aspect of your life?
Pretty content.
Yeah?
I would say 8.
8?
Yeah.
Okay.
So always room for improvement.
Now,
Okay.
we just drew a wheel. And you're asking me, okay, what the heck? I mean, why should I care?
Okay.
This is your life on paper. If this was a wheel on a wagon, how bumpy would that ride be?
Oh. There would be some smooth parts, some bumpy parts.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Whiplash, enough to kill the donkey and,
Yeah.
and just throw the person into the
Some
bushes.
broken
right?
legs.
You're out of balance.
Okay.
Before we can attain your dreams of getting higher, of doing more, of changing the world, we've got to get you in balance. Whenever you feel things like stress, anxiety, doubt, fear, worry, any of these things are just the bumps in the road.
I am good enough.
Exactly. So it's from here that we begin to take certain areas and then we apply the game plan to it. So say, for example, this is a 2 out of 10. We would then go through the process of, okay, Dana, you're at a 2 out of 10. What number do you want it to be at?
Okay.
Right? Okay, now that's the number. What does that look like?
Do I want it a 10?
Do you want life to be amazing?
Yes.
Then of course you want it to be a 10. Right? So with 10 now, you would then
But
describe
is that
to us.
realistic?
It can be. Now what's
okay.
going to happen is that your wheel is never going to be all 10s.
Okay.
Because life is not like that.
Right.
It's always going to be
That's what I'm
forming. But
saying.
what we can do is get it pretty close to being a lot smoother of a ride. And if you're going to be heading for your dreams, you're going to make sure that you have some good tires on the wagon, right?
Good foundation.
Exactly.
All right.
And so when we take a goal, say, it's a 2 right now, I want a 10, and then you're going to describe the 10. What's that look like in reality? And then you're going to go, okay, how can I make this happen?
Okay.
That's where the game plan comes in. So before we can tackle the world and change everything, we need to start in preschool with getting balanced.
All right. Is dreaming big only for the good-looking, or for the rich, or for the wise?
The wise?
Is it?
Dream making, is that what you said?
Is dreaming big only for certain type of people?
Dreaming big
The rich, or the good-looking, or the...
is for the willing.
All right.
So whoever falls under that category. Let me ask you a question. What's the difference between, say, a guy like Donald Trump and somebody that's on the street or struggling to make ends meet? Is there anything physically different
Physically,
other than haircuts, maybe?
yeah.
No.
They look probably different, dressed differently.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
really, there's not much difference. They both have 2 ears, 2 eyes, same arms, legs. They're exactly the same physiologically, pretty much. The only difference is what's happening in here, and specifically in here. Donald Trump, when he became bankrupt, he lost everything, and yet he's a billionaire again, because he's got those programs that force him to reach the top. What if we had programs that forced you to become healthy, or that forced you to become successful, or forced you to have great relationships? See, dreaming big is for the willing. It's not for the able. And I think that's where a lot of people fall off the cart.
All right. Well, I mean, for me, this is definitely my life story of just falling, and have nothing, and having to really build it up. That's what I do in my program, Independent Chick, and Brian here does his program, The Leadership Guide, through John C. Maxwell. We are actually going to be taking all this information to another level. We're going to start working together. We are going to be doing a seminar in February, actually. It's going to be exciting. February 22nd. What are we going to be doing? We're going to be taking this and...
So, I mean, we've got like a limited time schedule on TV, like show us this and just make it make sense, right? Well, when it comes to the seminar, we're actually going to slow things down. We're going to make it very interactive, and we're actually going to help you walk away with a tangible dream and a game plan to make it happen. So when you come out to our seminar, details are going to be on Dana's website. You can also get a hold of me. I'll throw that up in a second. But if you want something different out of life, this is something you need to come to. Trust me.
I'm excited. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you got something from this, and we're excited to meet you in person and take you to a whole new level. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Independent Chick.